dust the cobwebs off after almost 2 years. Me, just a healthy moment. It's been a little while. Obviously, the last time you saw me, completely understandable. I have been next to silent for almost 2 years, and I how do I put this? There's been a lot of changes, and a lot of adjustments. Um, I didn't really plan on stopping this, but I did, and I don't know if this is ever going to happen again. Also, shout out to Caesar in the chat. Thank you for letting me know that the game audio is too loud. I hopefully pulled that down. Obviously, we gotta shake the rust off. As I was saying, I don't know if this is gonna be long or if this is gonna be something a little more kind of short and sweet. I don't know if this is the future for me indefinitely. I don't know if streaming is ever going to become something that I'm doing again, or with any kind of consistency. Listen, if I do, probably going to ditch the face cam. Maybe not, maybe so. Don't know. There's a lot of questions up in the air with me. There's a lot of questions up in the air with this whole medium. The fact that I was able to get CCT to even work is kind of surprising. I guess I'll start with the obvious. I am streaming because we all got news today. This little doohickey here. This game that has created non-stop joy and pain and whatever is kind of coming to its conclusion. And as somebody that has played Destiny for a decade, I didn't start right at the beginning. Basically, as close as I possibly could to the beginning. This is just a lot, It's a lot to handle. For those of you that don't know, it was announced today that June 9th will be the last update that Destiny 2 is getting. Full stop. They are basically putting the game onto maintenance mode, and they are kind of like throwing their hands up. By they, I mean Bungie. Now, why is this important? Why did I decide to stream when I haven't done this in almost 2 years? Because this game was kind of the beginning, the middle, and the end to my streaming career, if you want to call it that. And it became the game that I featured the most and featured heavily. But ultimately, it came down to I was... select a Guardian here. Ultimately, I made some of the closest friendships I've ever had with it. And I spent the better part of like 5 years, specifically 5 years, playing this game daily, hours on end at night, going through raids. Basically, the whole thing that you all understand if you played this game is you created lifelong friendships. You've forged bonds that you hopefully will never lose with people across the world. I mean, Caesar's in the chat. Shout out to Rachel, who's in Australia. Shout out to Zane, who's in Jersey, and Josh, who's in Jersey, and Brian, who's in Salt Lake. You know, Connor, who was in Australia, and like even my friends, you know, like Nick, who I know in the real world, and he's off in North Carolina, and Brittany down in Colorado Springs where I used to live. Like all these people that I forged these like hopefully lifelong friendships with. And I know that's really dramatic over a video game, right? But video games is another medium for us to be brought together. Music, movies, TV, sports, video games. It's important. I'm gonna try my best to kind of bridge the gap of like talking about Destiny, but also talking about what's changed and like where I am right now with my streaming and my YouTube channel. That there's not going to be a lot of gameplay. I might like jump around the tower, but mostly it's just background noise. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't want to just sit in silence and you just hear my voice. First and foremost, everyone, I mean, things have changed quite a bit in the game since I last featured it. I mean, we've got 2 whole expansions. Look at this, the portal, the infamous portal. Literally nobody online. We've got just it's different, and I think that's a really interesting thing. It's different in the sense of like the game did something that I never thought it would, and first and foremost, that's it like the hooks that it had in me, where I'd stream like twice a day, or like twice a week. Gone. I mean, I didn't have those hooks. You know, it wasn't there anymore. And I think it's really important. Here, let me do some light adjustment here. Sorry. You're gonna lose me for a second. Take off. There, that's better. Right. Just flip between this and this, and it's like knocking the the dust off. I haven't really streamed in so long, but like the game kind of lost me. You can tell because like, I mean, if you look here, like I'm not near max power. I've just kind of floated around. You could, you know, I wouldn't have been caught dead right here in the rewards pass. It being stuck at 21. This is with the 6-month delay. I just haven't cared, and it's for a couple of reasons. It's not just because dying game. It's because the community that I had, completely fairly and rightfully so, kind of went and did their own thing. You know, Marathon came out, other games came out, focuses went from, you know, Destiny and raiding every night to, you know, other things. And I think that, combined with, you know, what they decided to do with the game, and the direction they took it, how they kind of put it on a preemptive year-long life support. You know, the portal was a disaster. It really killed the replayability for me. And on top of that, it also just kind of like, it took the fun out of it. If I can be brutally honest, I can't remember what I had here. You know, crushed every sense of like desire to chase this game. Man, this fit's actually pretty sick though. I'll give it that. This is a cool fit. Here, let me switch back. Um, you know, I found myself not wanting to play, not. Sorry, I'm looking through all of them. Like, not wanting to play, not finding enjoyment out of doing it. I was just like left in this state of like, do I keep slamming my head against a wall just to keep this thing going how I did for the sake of keeping it going? Or do I let it go, take some time away, wait until things inevitably get better? And that's kind of what I landed on. Was I played Edge of Fate. Story-wise, some really cool stuff, really great additions. Didn't enjoy the gameplay itself. Kind of just was like, chalk it up to whatever. And then Renegades came out. Renegade, Star Wars. Destiny Star Wars Light came out. And I waited forever to do it. And then I played through it and I was like, this is better gameplay-wise? I don't care. I played through it solo on Legendary. Completely cakewalk, if I'm being honest. And at this point, I didn't have the desire or anything to argue that point. I didn't. That point that has come back every time of like, yeah, the game sucks by, so many people and their standards skyrocketing high, trying to hit the highs of this game and the game that came before it, and even the Halo series and everything. And what it really comes down to is I didn't get the same joy as I did before. So I let it lie. I let it sit. I watched from outside, and I kind of was like, Shadow in Order. I remember that's what it's called. That'll do the thing. That'll do the thing. Get there. And it just didn't. Sorry, I'm like checking the tricks and my phone here just to make sure this works okay. But like, it lost that thing that made it special. And it was never the game for me. It was the community that I had built, or that I had been accepted into. And that was always the best part about it. And you look around here, and like I remember there would be so many players online. And I mean, look at this. Look, we've got one. We've got somebody. Look how empty this tower is. It's sad, but it's not. It's just not how it was. And I think that's something that I will always lament Bungie for, and the acquisition by Sony and everything that has happened. And I like have hope for a Destiny 3, but I'm not holding my breath, especially because after this came out, it came out that they're putting out one last update, and it's got a bunch of stuff. It's got Pantheon 2.0. It's got a lot of Cosmog stuff that should have been in the game probably from the start, but it's okay. It's here now, I guess. Sparrow League Racing, which to me, like, I don't have the connection to SRL as everyone else seems to have in D1. It's cool, but it's like you're throwing this in after the body is in the grave. You're bringing this in so late that like it's almost like they're trying to spike this massive amount of players to come back. For what? If I sound like I'm being dramatic, it's because there's a lot of weight behind this game for me personally, as everyone that has watched my streams has known, this game is not just boom boom shoot me like loot. For me, I genuinely don't care all that much if I got a god roll, or an exotic dropped, or if I was wolves first, or anything along those lines. I cared about hanging out with my friends and making stupid, silly jokes the entire time, and running through a raid that felt like comfort food. You know, the amount of times that I ran Deepstone Crypt with that same group. I mean, we got a flawless in like 30 minutes, and it was only our second attempt. And it wasn't ever about bragging rights for me. It was just about hanging out with my friends and trying something. And it is so amazing that I have those memories and I still am in contact with most of those people. And I love that. You know, I love that I can still hit them up on Discord or shoot a text over and be like, hey, like, you remember this? Or, you know, let's try to get together when the last hurrah comes around. And like, that's what I want to do. And maybe that's when these streams will actually take shape. Maybe that's when it'll happen. Maybe I will stream a little bit here and there when all this starts to happen. Or maybe I just simply won't. You know? That's another thing, is like, what if instead of that I just kind of treat this game for what it is and just come back to it when I want. Come back to it when my friends want. You know, that's another thing that it doesn't have to be this, you know, this horrific, like, on fire end of days thing with Destiny. It can just be, hey, do you remember Destiny 2? And do you remember the good times that we had? And like, that can just be, the answer can just be yeah. I'm gonna read some Caesars in the chat here. So he says, I absolutely agree. These communities were the heart of Destiny and what made Destiny Destiny. I'm forever going to miss what Destiny once was. And that's some real shit there, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna make my face cam a little bigger. That feels like a little small. There we go. Forever adjusting stuff. Destiny was never about the gameplay, in my opinion. Destiny has always been about the community. And that was something that I don't feel like it was lost. It feels like it was put on hold, and then just we're getting one last lap, you know? We're getting one last, let's take this around the block one more time for old time's sake. And like, the game's gonna be playable, okay? First and foremost, I understand the game is gonna be playable. I know they're not ending support in the sense of they're not turning the game off like Concord or something like that. It's not going out, you know, to the back of the woodshed and getting put out of its misery. It's gonna be here, and it's gonna have new content, and like, there's gonna be stuff to do, and I'm actually, in like a weird way, looking forward to it. You know, Pantheon, I didn't fully get into the scope of Pantheon. I think I got like 2 or 3 weeks in, and then I kind of like dropped it, and hopefully this time around I can actually do it, because it sounds like they're adding bosses in from an era of D2 that I never got around to. I've never done, like, you know, Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, like Scourge. I've never done like these bigger raids that everyone was always, you know, Spire. I've never done these. I want to do parts of them, because we all know they're not unvaulting anything, because it's not just a, oh, click this button and all this content comes back. You'd have to reprogram the game for the update of the, Beyond Light engine that took over. It's not just going to come back like that. I've accepted that. We're not going to get the Red War. Maybe. Probably not. And I want to take part in this. I want to go for the cosmetics. Drip is the end game. Fit is always the end game. You all know this. It's really quite sobering to get this news today as a fan of this franchise. As somebody that's put like 140, 50 days in, you know, like, and that's chump change compared to like some people. I've talked to people that have put in 13,000 hours into this game. This is their game. They've been playing since day one. They never gave up on it. I took some time off from it in the beginning. I like after Curse of Osiris, I kind of bounced for a few years until Shadowkeep. I mean, I didn't bounce in the sense of like I stopped playing. I still would like peek in, but it was like very minuscule. I'd pop in and like run around easy, or you know, run like a public event. It's not really feeling it. But then I came back, and then it got its hooks in me. And like one of my stupid things is, you know, the things. Sorry, in the in-game chat, this game died for Marathon. What a joke. That's kind of how I feel. I haven't played Marathon. I will not be playing Marathon, not because I don't think it's a good game. It's because extraction shooters would not go well for me. Just not very competitive person. As I said, I'm gonna keep bouncing around the tower here. I'll probably go to like. Look at this. Like, look in here. We are all in mourning. Like, people are hurt, man. I'm hurt. I was watching a video. I was watching Dado's reaction. And he started sobbing. I teared up. I'll be honest with you guys. I teared up. You know why? It's because to me, this, as I said, this game is more than just a bunch of ones and zeros coded into like pretty shapes and shooty bang bangs. To me, it's like this was late nights. This was staying up with friends. This was learning, you know, spending like 3.5 hours on The Witness. This was, you know, getting our first clear of like Vow of the Disciple and it becoming my favorite raid. Straight up, can I get up here? Did I not know? Here? Okay, well now I'm gonna be slightly distracted while we're talking. I've never been back here before. Anyway. Look at this game chat. These are just people in the tower. This is people's like young adult lives. Can't forget all the Ron farming. Thank you, Caesar. 100%. We farmed Root of Nightmares to okay, I'm just not gonna be able to make this jump. It's okay. Like, we farmed Root of Nightmares to get that shotgun that I can't remember the name of. The fire and ice one. Oof, how far I've fallen. But we farmed that for days, it felt like, and when we all finally got it, it was just this amazing moment. Felt a little like cheap because we did a lot of it during like Pantheon or whatever. I don't remember, but we got it and it felt great. Getting Brian to finally get his Vex Mythoclast after like 60 plus. Conditional finality, I believe. I forgot as well. I think it was conditional finality. You're right. I'll be honest, I got a little emotional, everyone. Like, so, while I'm sitting here, I feel as if there's some updates in order. You know, first and foremost, obviously, as you can see the background, it is not my old setup. I don't live there anymore. I don't have most of those things anymore. after I moved out um, from that relationship and everything. After that relationship ended and I moved out, that's a better way to put it. Put all my stuff in a storage unit, all my collector's stuff. Chat's going, game chat's going well, not live chat. Maybe a little bit of like, I don't want to say karma because that comes across really rude, but like my storage unit got broken into. All that stuff's gone. Luckily, all my streaming setup and my video games and everything was not in the storage unit, thank goodness. But all the memorabilia, the art, all that cool stuff I had, gone, stolen. So obviously, as you can see, the situation is different. I live kind of near my hometown. As you can see in the background here, got all my guitars. I've started playing guitar like crazy. Gotten a lot of that stuff, clearly been growing my hair out. There's been a lot of change. I'm married now. That's kind of crazy, but like a lot can happen in 2 years, about 2 years. And she's incredible. She's asleep right now. She's a very sleepy girl. Background. There's been a lot of change. The streaming, I kind of like lost the vibe with it. I was doing it to the point where I was burning myself out. I was getting pretty tired of it. I was losing the fun. And the last stream I did, like I had full intentions to continue. And I think at that point, I made a decision that the level of like retention going down from myself, focus onto this streaming world, and some negative feelings towards it. I needed to take time away, but I didn't know how to say that. And instead of kind of announcing anything, I kind of just which I actually found to be one of the best things for me. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm really gonna miss this game when it's gone. I'm really gonna miss it because it's not just Destiny 2 streaming. It's not just playing Destiny 2. It's not just streaming. They're not separate. They're together because I focused on this game and I had the most fun when I streamed this game, even when it drove me up the wall. I'm at a point, and I'm sorry if I'm not making any sense. I'm trying to. This is still important. I'm gonna make a protocol. I'm getting to a point where like a part of me wants to come back. Start streaming again. Not a bunch, just occasionally. Just dropping it on like my Instagram and my Facebook for friends and family, and then just see who shows up in the YouTube audience. Not for clout, not for. I want to use this image. I feel like it's very sentimental. I want to stream because I like it, not because I feel like I need to. And I think that's gonna come with its own challenges, especially because like I'm literally set up in a living room in a much smaller apartment than I used to live in. But we'll get there. Who knows? Maybe my wife Macy will be a part of it. Maybe my son Elias will jump back in and do some stuff. And I would like for Destiny to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. whether that is doing the occasional stream, you know, for the new stuff, or if it's streaming, just chatting, or maybe even some music stuff, guys. I don't know. I'm not a good guitar player, but who knows? Maybe that's something we can do. We've gotten quite a bit of the tower. I know everyone's like, oh, what about the? I'm gonna say like, ooh, the hanger. Hanger. See, I'm still like, I go over to the portal expecting me to be. I don't even know how to get. Where's some good like third person stuff? Okay, we'll go see Zer for a minute. This feels like a millennium ago. Go into the treasure hoard. Obviously, if you're new here, if by some wild chance you're just tuning into this guy, I mean, who literally blew dust off of his laptop and his capture card and like fumbled around and had to like reconfigure everything last minute and just like flipped this on. It subscribe. Say hi in the chat. Seriously, I'm not gonna be mean unless you're mean to me, but I won't be mean to you. I'll just be like, hey, chill out. I'm not gonna bite. The fact that I'm looking and there's like a few people here when I thought I was just gonna be talking to myself is incredible. You know, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought I was gonna be talking to the void, which is totally fine because that's another thing that if I click the wrong button, I get this. But like, if you're new here, say hi, consider subscribing, or don't. That's fine too. Sorry if I'm rambling. It's just like this is like a muscle that I've like forgotten how to use, and it's like kind of coming back to me a little bit. Hopefully the audio is okay. Hopefully you can hear me. If it's too much of me, I can pull that back. You know, my energy's different now. I get that. If you used to watch back in the day, if you're a good friend like Caesar and some other people here, well, I guess everyone's here. Unless you say hi in the chat. You know my energy's a little more toned down than it used to be, but I can guarantee you that still got the juice. It's crazy. It's crazy. This game came out 2017. September 17th. I'm probably wrong on the date, but it was September. I'm pretty sure 2017. Pre-ordered it. I'm so excited. Crazy. I was crazy. And see, that's what I'm talking about. There's a world where this could have gone right, you know? There's a world where Destiny 2 could have been something amazing. And the thing is I guess to be fair, it is amazing. It was. It lost its way. It fell to corporate greed. It fell to earnings reports and spreadsheets and all this crap that goes on. And it's so frustrating. Because like the moments I've had playing with this, my Warlock main, same Warlock from D1, imported it over. You know? I'm just like looking, and it's just like I'm looking at this character, and and I'm just like feeling so distraught. It's a cool ass look too. Look at this thing. Look at keep going to the portal. I don't know why it goes to the portal. Sure. Let's go to the pale heart. You know, it's like I get it. It's a silly character. You know, I understand that. And it's more than a character, not because I'm like super invested in my character's place in the story, but invested where my friends and I are in the story. You know, Red Zito, hopefully I'm saying that right. There is most certainly a world where this could have gone right. It's currently happening due to drastic mismanagement and negligence. Not hating, but it's just true. You could not be more right. You nailed it. Ooh. Jam. You're 100% right. It's not hating at all. You're 100% right. It's negligence, mismanagement, corporate greed. It's like this same like overarching like weight that's on like every creative process. It's just marred in this. I agree, Caesar. It hurts more knowing this game could have been so much more. I mean, I want to know what we were in for that we're not even going to see. Because, like, yeah, I wanted to know where we were going. Even if we were all frustrated with the process, I would have seen it through to the end. I straight up would have still pre ordered the stuff. I would have gotten the deluxe editions. I would have thrown my hard earned money at this game because it brought me somewhere and it brought me closer with people. Bread, I'm still honored to have been part of what was one point one of the most legendary run in gaming history too. Exactly. Like, these are good memories. By the way, I don't know if anyone can hear like the horns honking in the background, but again, thin walls, these are older apartments. It's a different setting than when I used to stream. I apologize for that, but at the same time, I can. Red, I am sad, disappointed, and also rejoice in the wonderful memories I've made with this game. Isn't that like some real stuff right there? That's something that is so down to the core that I need to be really clear with all of you watching. Which I know may or may not be like a lot of you. Maybe you're new, maybe you're like Caesar and we've played together a lot, but like the memories are something that that's where I get emotional. That's where I tear up. That's where I'm like, I found myself reflecting today on like a lot of incredible memories with Destiny. A lot of moments that were so funny, that were so difficult, but that were so rewarding when we got through and like all that stuff. And it like one of the sad things I realized is like 90% of my friends that people I would call friends that I could talk to about almost anything I was raiding with, or doing a dungeon with, or running Grandmaster Nightfalls when that was a thing. I have some friends in like in the real world outside of the digital, but I mean, Caesar met me. He doesn't live in the state I live in. He happened to be coming through. We met up. That's my friend. I spent hours talking to my friend Rachel from Australia. Stuff. I spent hours talking to my friend Ryan. If you're a long time viewer, you understand that reference. Just about the game and then life and just views and just having like philosophical, I can't even talk, having like debates and discussions and talking about our lives and talking about what was going on. And it became to the point where it was like, I'm closer to these people than some of the people I could physically go see. And sure, those friendships are built. They're rock solid. They're not going to change as long as as long as you feed them everything. That, totally like how it would be a normal, like in-person friendship, but like sometimes it's closer. I mean, I remember Shin, Caesar, and I, when we met, it was on a LFG Deepstone Crypt, and after we rocked through that raid after I had never beaten it, like I was struggling so hard, and they brought me in and we walked through the raid, and then we did dungeon speed runs with randomized teams. And I remember sitting and talking with all these people for hours. I mean, about the game, but also about life. And then, I mean, hell, my Discord. I had a raid resource and dungeon resource channels on my Discord, specifically with just explanations on encounters. We would help people get through things. We would like, my favorite raid is Vow of the Disciple. My favorite encounter is the third encounter, which if you know anything about that raid, it was chaos, and it still is chaos. And my favorite way to do it is, hey, get a group of people together that know how to do everything, and chaos method, just grab and go. It's my favorite. I have dreams and memories about running that specific raid because it's my favorite, and Deepstone Crypt, and how Garden of Salvation, we could walk through it like in 45 minutes, and then that last boss is so finicky. We'd always get hung up on it, and then I'd go watch other people, and they'd walk through the whole raid in like 20 minutes. And it's like, just this game. This game, man. I don't want to let it go. And I know it's going to still be around. I know it's still going to be playable. I mean, like, they're not shutting it down. It's not like you're losing a friend forever. It's still going to be here, but, like, is it going to be the same? It's really anticlimactic for me to pull out my lightsaber and for me not to have any ammo. That's really goofy. Let's not do that. Probably run back to the tower, right? God, I just looked down. 10 viewers. Guys, thank you. Endlessly. Hopping in. If you're new, please consider subscribing and saying hi in the chat. We're kind of walking down memory lane a little bit. We're going random places. We're sitting here and talking about Destiny because of the news today. Brett said, trust bro, my best friends are all people I met playing video games online. It's been amazing in that regard. The friends made along the way. The community is the heart of D2. And hopefully, yes, go off. And hopefully, you know what? Hopefully we keep this thing cooking for as long as we can. I mean, I know I'm going to make an effort to play more. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna try to get groups together. I'm gonna play solo because I also play solo a lot, or I used to. This game has given me so much, and this community has given me so much. I'm not ready to let it go. Not willing to let it go just yet. Trying to find an aesthetic place to go hop up on. Like, mean, I think I think something that compelled me to go live for the first time in almost 2 years of just like letting things sit was the news today, and then the feeling of like I was never a person to like not play this game. Like look, hat, shirt, wearing it out of celebration, but like I have the Nerf Gallahorn, I have the Nerf Ace of Spades. I used to have like the foam recreations of Thorn and Sunshot, and I had like a couple of the McFarlane, I think that's what they were called, or the figures that came out with D1, like the Kingsfall Warlock that had like Black Spindle and all that stuff, and Touch of Malice. Like I had all that, and I had like a glowing avatar of one of my favorite Warlock fits, and it was, which I'll probably recreate honestly now. That kind of got me excited with the transmog, Cosmog, transmog, whatever it's called. I can't think straight. I had like all this stuff, like all this amazing stuff, and like this, I like sunk into the lore, and I learned all this insane story of like a decade's worth of it, and like I think that's one of the things that really ticks me off. Honestly, if I can get a little angry for a second, and I'll just keep my voice down. But like, you're just gonna leave us just sitting here? Like they're like, oh, we'll finish up, we'll do some of the lore sprinkles that leaves the characters in interesting places. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Bind the nine, and you're just gonna let it sit? Brad says, as a great send off in the wise words of Carl Sagan, the open road still softly calls like a nearly forgotten song of childhood. That's beautiful, and that works. Welcome, I am none. Thank you for saying what's up in the chat. Yo, dude, I've been playing Destiny 2 since 2018. It angers me so much that they just leave it. And that's like some heavy shit right there, isn't it? Like that's really like what's pissing me off is it's like, hey, I actually was here for the story. Oh, and like I probably was not part of the populace that was like, oh, the drip feed seasonal storyline. At least that brought me back every week. I got so much joy about being a part of it, even when I was like, this is stupid. I was worried for days like these when like I lost passion for the franchise enough to like just like not play the damn game, and I didn't play the damn game. I played Renegades. I got like my lightsaber, and I just said, you know what? That'll do until the next update. Like, I'll hop on when they give me something to hop on for. Now it's like there's no end, and I am none. We just have to disregard the edge of fate and eject it from our minds. Story wrapped up at the end of the episodes. I think that's one of the things that sucks like pretty heavily is like, you're right, we almost have to like retcon the last year or so. But here's the thing is like, I actually was interested to see where it went. I wanted to see what happened with Lodi. I wanted to see what happened with the Nine, Drifter, and there's been this presence in Destiny the whole time, like the Nine. It was interesting. I was very interested. They were all connected to the planets, and like I wanted to see where it went. And now it's like, we'll give you some lore sprinkles. Like, is it going to be a lore tab? Is this what it's going to come down to? Is like, I'm like, okay, what happened with Ikora? Let's read it. Brian! What's up, dude? What's up, man? Shame we have to come back this way. It's been a long time. Hope you're well. They obviously wanted to make it similar scale to the Light and Darkness saga, but they didn't expect it to flop so badly. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, you know, like, sometimes just, you know, like, just fucking commit to it. You know, you're already here, just commit to it. Instead of you sitting here and I'm not saying you guys, I'm saying, like, Bungie, instead of you guys, like, trying to please everyone, tell your fucking story. You know? Tell your story. You know? How basic I am. I only got the lightsaber. I literally haven't done anything. It's okay. We're literally just here for aesthetic reasons. I'm actually going to try to focus playing the game because we're all chatting. But, like, I don't know. I have this theory. Maybe you guys can chime in the chat, but, like, even when something is not perceived well, like something is ass, you know, somebody's like, this story sucks, I don't like this is dumb. If it's the vision of the storyteller, finish your story. I don't care what other people say. Like, me personally, like, and that's the beauty of it, is, like, if you're not interested in it, then you don't have to finish it. I've been a devout Destiny fan for like a decade. I came in a year late to D1 after trying it in 2014, got back on the train, played D1, played D2 until Curse of Osiris took Warmind off, missed Forsaken, kind of. Like, I kind of like dipped in and out, as like I said earlier, and then Shadowkeep came around and like the tail end of Forsaken, and I was back on it, and I have not missed any of this except for the past like 6 months. And that's because there was nothing happening. I like single player games a lot. I like when we are driven story wise. That's personally, I was finding that here. Even if it was cheesy, even if it was a Star Wars inspired rip-off story, whatever we want to fucking call it, I still was enjoying it. I was still on board because I had invested in this, and I know sometimes we can get into the sunk cost fallacy, where it's, I put X amount of time into this in my life, so therefore I need to finish it. That's not true. Sunk cost fallacy is bullshit. It's just, you know, it's something you have to break your mind of, or at least in my opinion. And I had recognized that, and still, in spite of that, was like, let me in. Let me along for the ride. I want to see where this goes. And for us to just get, like, this is the worst case scenario for story wise. Like, you just get, like, here's some scraps to leave them in interesting places. Quoting Bungie. I don't want the Drifter and Eris to be left in an interesting place. I don't want Zavala or Eris or Xivu Wrath, who must be like, fucking sick, bro. They're not coming after me. Savathun, like, I don't want them in an interesting place. I don't want them left up to my imagination. I want you to show me. Let me live it. Well, it's a game company. They prioritize profit. The devs obviously want to keep the story going, but the higher ups seen that Destiny 2 is dried out of money, so now they're moving on to Marathon, which is kind of what we were saying earlier. It's like, leave it to the corporate greed, you know? You know, this was all, like, kind of foretold with Pete Parsons. He was like, I want my 19th, 1965 Mustang. Fuck the people that have helped us from day one. You know, like, Bungie used to be my, like, all-time favorite. The Halo series, like, everything they walked away after Reach. And I was like, they left this in a beautiful spot. Then they created Destiny, and I was like, what is Destiny? I was like all of you, I was just like so just absorbed with it. Let me catch up on some chats. Red says, as you said, the major flops in recent memory has Bungie in the doghouse with Big Papa Sony, and in my opinion, there won't be many more failures before Bungie is dissolved and those assets redistributed. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you sell your soul to billions upon billions of pieces of paper. Honestly, that's what Sony is. Brian says Bungie hurt themselves by constantly missing on promises for updates and timelines, and then not supporting the game in favor of developing Marathon. Destiny will always be that game. I reminder for the good people in good times. Brett says Bungie has mostly been a financial black hole for the last couple of years. For those of you in the chat that don't know, this is Brian. He is one of my buddies. We go way back. I met him and the guy who no longer plays the game. He messaged me on Instagram. Actually, Connor. He from Australia. I met them in an LFG with like a group of friends. We did Vault of Glass, and that just like sparked everything. Connor, like 6 months ago, hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I'm deleting my socials. Thank you for the amazing times with Destiny. I'll always remember that. Like, thank you, man. You helped me through some like you and Brian and all your friends helped me through some really dark times." And I was like, "Dude, like, thank you for everything." And he straight up went, "Peace." I haven't heard from the guy since. It's like a beautiful, beautiful ghost. But Brian has been here since basically day one. And like hopefully we can throw down with some of this content just to like bring back the fun times, you know? Like I'll put as much effort as I can into this game considering the circumstances. Let me leave anyway. I Am None said they said in the announcement that they weren't done with Destiny, but I imagine Destiny 3 will end up in a Half-Life 3 sort of state. Ugh. I think Destiny Rising is a good spin-off, has potential. I don't know though. I need to try that, but I'm going to have to do that in a way to play it on my computer because I'm not about to mobile game that shit. Caesar said, "There's so much that has been left open-ended. This universe Bungie built is vast and expansive. Even if I find myself getting bored, I still love this universe and wanted to see more." I Am None. Use BlueStacks. It's an Android emulator. Caesar, couldn't agree more. I Am None. I will try to learn that. Guys, we're coming up on about an hour here. And I think I think I've said all I can probably say for the night. I think I need to sit with this for a little bit more. As for the future of like the live streams in this channel, I'm definitely not done. I'll try my best to start posting on YouTube here to announce when I'm going live and all that kind of stuff and give it like, you know, like a 30-minute thing. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please like this stream. If you're new here, thank you so much. Again, I haven't streamed for 2 years. And this is probably the most popular stream I've done in almost 2. Mr. Fruit Loops channel, Time for Other Games. Game died years ago. I mean, brother, I respect it. I respect that take. I'm not gonna rule out playing other games on this channel live stream wise. I definitely think that's something I'd be interested in. But I know for the lap around the yard with Destiny, I definitely want to stream some of that for fun. But guys, as I said, if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. Consider subscribing, liking, all that nonsense. Try to be a little more active here. Try to figure stuff out. Let's all remember the great times with Destiny. Let's look forward to the stuff we're getting. Hopefully there will be a Destiny 3. And let's keep the community alive as much as possible. This game was truly special. It was truly amazing. And I will always have love for the people that played it with me and do play it with me, and Bungie for making it. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I keep saying that over and over. Keep tuned. You know, hit the alert button. I'll try to post, because you can on YouTube you can like post to your community about when I'm gonna go live. If this, as I named this, if this is truly the end of Destiny 2, sincerely thank you all for everything, including the people that I just talked to tonight for the first time. Hopefully this is not the last time, but if it is, we always have our memories. I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got. All right, everyone. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Everything. I would love to say the Bife line. I don't know how to pronounce it very well without watching his videos. Or Audia ad Astra, whatever. You get it. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
The oldest encryption methodology.